Alright, hello everybody. I'm just going to film another 70 logos to add to my collection. This is the longer version. This is going to be about 26.5 minutes to film these 70 golf balls. Before I do that, I'm just going to ask you to do something. Would you please bookmark my YouTube account so that you can find me again, which is youtube.com/@awesomefullhdvideos/playlists. That's how you can find me again. So bookmark that in your browsers. And then once you're on to my YouTube account, if you click on where it says playlists, it then loads up all these different playlists. Scroll down here and find the one that says golf balls, my videos. There you go. Click on that. And there you go. Then it'll automatically start playing. I'm just going to pause it. And it'll start playing. I've got 93 videos so far to show off my golf ball collection with logos on. So you've got 93 videos to watch if you want to see them all so far. And bear in mind, I'm still adding to it all the time. So if you want to see my entire collection of, I don't know, roughly 6, maybe 7,000 logos, that's how to do it. Right, now I'm going to get to these. I should say, as far as I know, all of these have come from about 8 to 10 different golf courses in Cambridgeshire. I buy them from somebody. He also has one other method of getting hold of golf balls that might be a little bit older. Not from courses, he does some deals with places. So anyway, and these were, as far as I know, these were found at the end of 2023, early 2024. I pay a fixed price, so the balls that you'll see in perfect condition, I pay exactly the same amount as the ones that look in manky, horrible condition. I'm just going to do something. I just want to get more light on my camcorder. The sensor, sometimes it starts to look a little bit yellowy to my screen. Yeah, something goes on with the sensor on this. I'm filming indoors because it's such a horrible day, and anyway, I'm just going to get started. So, allow for lighting conditions. I just don't think this is quite right, the lighting. In fact, let me try one more thing. I'm going to shine it up at my light. Sometimes it's I don't know what causes it, but the sensor on this camcorder seems to be very sensitive, and sometimes it kind of goes into a weird setting where it doesn't look quite bright enough. That looks a bit better. Anyway, allow for lighting conditions. So what does this say? Old course, St Andrews, Scotland. I've got so many different versions of St Andrews, Scotland logos. They seem to print an enormous number of golf balls with logos on. Spalding Pro 2, I think that is. That's not a model of ball I know. That's a new one to me. I'll have to put that one to one side. Alright, next. Birchwood Park. I don't know where that is. And I show each golf ball in detail so that you can see the condition of them. Again, please allow for lighting. I just can't quite get the light quite right today. It's very dull outside, so I'm having to use completely artificial lighting, and it's not helping me. This ball is a little bit stained yellow. Mack trucks. Well, I'm sure you've all heard of those. Famous American brand, but that seems to have like a bulldog as its logo. Yeah, Mack trucks. Next. Gloucester Rugby. Well, I've been to Gloucester. I've been to Gloucestershire. I think that says 1873. I'm not a big rugby. Oh, it's got a bit of a cut on it. Someone's given that a good old whack. Yeah, that feels off. You wouldn't want to play that ball ever again. That's roughly a 2019 model, but fortunately the side with the logo is perfect, so you can get away with displaying that. Next, Men All Golf. Never heard of that. Yeah, don't know about that one. Next, Health Link. I should say, when people put pen mark on a golf ball, you can use nail varnish remover on a cottonwool rub away. 9 times out of 10 you'll be able to get rid of the pen mark. Try it on a golf ball you don't mind messing up first, because sometimes you can end up smudging it depending on the type of ink they've used. Bells, Christmassy, that's nice. Okay. Next. What does that say? Oh, Ashford Manor Golf Club. Nice logo. And that's roughly a 2023 model of the ball. Yeah, that's quite a nice logo, that one. North London Hospice. Not heard of that particular one. Ball's very good condition. Next, Bank of Boston. And I said, just because these balls were found in Cambridgeshire, England, they can come from anywhere in the world. People buy online, people buy stuff on eBay from other shops and get them posted to them. Obviously, people go on holiday and buy golf balls, so they can. My collection of golf balls is from all over the world. Pinnacle 384 90 compression. That was a very popular ball back in about 1989, 1990. I used to get loads of these, so that ball dates to then. So there's no way that has been in the lake since then. So, as I said, when people die and they sell the contents of their homes, the bloke I buy golf balls from has a way of getting hold of the golf equipment. So that's probably one that he's got out of an old golf bag that somebody's sold. Next, Truck Away. Not heard of that before. And if you know anything about any of these companies, please leave a comment on this YouTube video explaining that is part of the Nike ball. That's not a company logo, so that is the logo. You don't get many Nike balls, you don't get many Nike with logos. Next, Hunstanton Golf Club. I've been there, 1891. That is right next to the beach in Hunstanton. Next, I can see I've got two of these. I've got two Rolls Royce balls. Rolls Royce, makers of cars and more famously the jet engines that have probably powered you on your way to your holidays on great big planes. Okay, that's that. Let's see if they're on exactly the same ball. So Warbird. Oh yeah, it's probably the same golfers hit two shots and into exactly the same lake. So I've got two of those. So I've definitely got one of those I could swap or sell. And amazingly, the engines on the plane, say a Boeing 777 plane that cost $250 million from Boeing, I think they say the engines cost something like $25 million. And that includes getting them serviced for however many years they last, but that's how expensive engines are. Very expensive. Next, Red Arrows. I've got the Red Arrows on a couple of different balls. Wowzers. Oh, that's on a ping ball. Well. Very, very, very rare to get hold of any ping balls these days. Ping are famous for doing the two colour balls. So they make a golf ball that looks like it's two halves of different golf balls stuck together, so yellow and orange or purple and white. This one is obviously one colour, but to have a ping ball with a logo, that is rare for me. Awesome. Very happy with that one. And the ping balls are very collectible these days. They go for stupid prices. Next, Cobtree Manor Park Golf Course. Don't know where that is. Ball's good condition. Next, Ireland. I've never been there. That's just, I was just going to say it's a novelty ball. It doesn't look like it's got a brand on it. It's got that. And it's a golf club I've never heard of. So that's a nice one. Two logos. But it is a novelty ball. It's not a proper maker golf ball. Next, Grove Madison Industries. Don't know what they do. Nice enough ball. DSV. Don't know what that is. It's amazing how many businesses there are in the world that you've never heard of. You know, whenever I get a collection of golf balls and you see the logos on, you think, well, how come I've never heard of that business? Never heard of that business. And it's incredible how many businesses there are in the world you've never heard of before. North Berwick, and that's on a Dunlop DDH 500. DDH stands for distance, durability and height. That's Dunlop. I know these things, you see. Next, General Dynamics, and then what does that say? Something Systems. Tiny writing, hard to see. EFV. That's on a Nike Mojo ball. I have got just a couple of other Nike Mojo balls, but that's a logo one. That's good. Next, this ball's rather manky. Total Technique Group. Don't know what country that's from. Spelt like that, Wilson. Durosoft. Now that's not a particularly old ball, but that's obviously been stuck at the bottom of a lake for a while, and that's dirty. I should say I didn't clean any of these. The person I buy them from cleans them. Method is explained to me. They might scrub up a little bit more, but I have to say, when balls have been stuck at the bottom of a lake for a year or two, somehow the dirt can get absorbed into the cover and it just will not come off, so that may not clean up. I'm just saying that in case I ever sell my collection. Someone says, oh, why you got some dirty balls? Well, that's I'm sorry, that's just the way they end up. Nothing I can do about that. Premier. Don't know what that company does. Next. What's that say? We carry, we care. We carry, we care. One high. Don't know what they do. Nike Powersoft. Next. 2018. See, that perfectly dates. So you know that ball, that particular model of soft wheel was about in 2018 with those two little dashes there. So I'll put that one to one side. As I said, I am going to make a list of the different models of golf balls at some point. It's not a priority, so it might take me ages, but Novartis, is that a pharmaceutical company, I think? Ball's not great condition. Next. Now this is a huge logo. That's about as big a logo as I've ever seen on a golf ball. Kind of a silvery grey colour and then cross on it. What's that all about? Ooh. Tour stage. XJD. Ah, Massey, what's that? Well, I've got no idea. That's an unusual type of ball. Tour stage, it sounds kind of familiar. I might already have one, but not printed like this way. XJD, and what's that all about? What's Massey? So maybe that's the same company as that. That is unusual. I'll put that one to one side. Next, I've had this logo myself before. Royal Cromer Golf Club. That's in Norfolk. Cromer's on the coast in Norfolk. Nice ball. So I've definitely got one of those to swap or sell. Next, Nevis. And you've got a great big palm tree as part of the logo. That's a nice logo design. Good condition. Next. Don't know what they do. Oh, look at that. Blech. Oh, there you go. You got a website to look at if you want to see what they are, but unfortunately that ball is all stained. That's been stuck at the bottom of a lake for a while. Next. Timber Merchant. Yeah, there's pen marks, as I said. Nail varnish remover is the best chemical I've found to remove pen marks from golf balls. There are other chemicals you can try, but they can end up knackering the ball a bit, or they just don't work as well. Some of the hand washes with a bit of alcohol can also be used, but they're not as strong. They don't work as well. Iwea, where's that? Iwea. That ball, you can see that's a bit stained there, so that's been. And I guess also some of the balls, when they're stuck at the bottom of a lake, it's also a case of the sunlight hitting the lake. If they're in the shallowish part, the sunlight's eventually going to fade the ball as well on one side. Next, Bourne Golf Club. That's not that far from where I am in East Anglia, so. And that's that For the Cure cancer ribbon that they print on Pinnacle Gold Lady balls. Next, DAF, Leyland DAF trucks. That's a fairly recent version of this Strixon ball. I'd say roughly 2023. Next, Whipsnade Park Golf Club. I've been to. There's a Whipsnade Zoo, which isn't, again, in East Anglia, not that far away, say within an hour of driving off the top of my head. I went there as a kid a few times. Good zoo, as I recall. I believe it's still going. Mizuho, not Mizuno, Mizuho. Sounds Japanese to me, might not be. I can feel there's a bit of a scuff there. I felt that with my finger then, yeah. That's not particularly good condition. Next, McLaren. Now, there's a Formula 1 team called McLaren, but I'm sure that's not their logo. There's also a McLaren that makes pushchairs. and that could be a different McLaren. That side stamp, again, roughly a 2023 ball, possibly 2021. It's that sort of time frame, not that old. Next, Glamorgan Telecom GT, and there's some tiny writing there which I'm not going to be able to make out to my eye. Not heard of that ever. Oh, and that's a very old Pro V1 ball. That side stamp there might date to something like about 2001-ish, 2003, somewhere around there. That is an old ball. Next, Wasp or a B on a golf ball. Oh, and then tiny writing. God, that is tiny. Wasps Golf Society. Don't know where they are. There's the side stamp. Next, Rabbi, supporting farming families. Not heard of that before. Nice enough logo. Ball seems to be good condition. Next, never heard of that. Zolfo Cooper. Nope, don't know anything about that. Next, the Big Golf Race. And then you also got, there you go, Prostate Cancer UK. That's a charity. I think, presumably trying to find a cure for prostate cancer in men. And then, what's that say? That's someone's lettering. So as I said, nail varnish remover can get that off. Next, Kitson's, what? Something supplies. Thermal supplies, I think that says. Kitson's Thermal Supplies. PTS roll, again, I presume this is like an early 2000s ball. I wasn't finding golf balls myself in that sort of time period, so that's one of the types of balls I never got to go and find myself. Next, Morelli Group. I should say I collected golf balls myself from about 1987 to about 1991-ish. I used to go almost weekly and get golf balls, and that's how I ended up with the habit of, I used to save the ones that had logos on because I knew they were somehow special because they were rarer than all the other ones. So I kept my own collection of logo golf balls, and then obviously things take over, education and work, and then when the COVID situation hit and everybody was off work for quite some time, I got into the habit of collecting golf balls again and collecting logos again, and I've got an enormous amount since about the year, when did I start again? About 2021, I think, I first went again for the first time in many years, and I've taken up the habit again. And also I found this chap that hunts golf courses and sells them to me, the ones that I want. So my collection has exploded in the last 2-3 years. I genuinely don't know exactly how many I've got, but it's somewhere 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 I reckon I've got now. So at some point in 2024 I'm going to lay them all out on my lawn, I'm going to count them, and I'll be able to tell you exactly how many I've got, and I'm going to make a video to show you the entire collection in one go, and it's going to be quite impressive when you see it. It's going to take up quite a bit of space. I don't know how many cubic meters it'll take me to show you, but it's going to be a decent size. Next, Malcolm, I think that says, and that's like a lion. That ball looks very good condition, if not mint. Next, and in case you're wondering, for those of you who don't know much about golf balls, the top brands of golf balls cost roughly £4 each. So Titleist Pro V1 balls, the 2023 model, would set you back £4 each. So a dozen golf balls in a packet is going to cost you £48. And if they print a logo on them, it might be you buy it from a certain golf shop, they usually add about another 50 pence per ball, so that can quite easily be £4.50. I've seen people trying to sell Pro V1s for £5.50 each new. So just to give you an idea of how much golf balls cost new. And then there's a few other makes that also sell their golf balls for about that price. Some of the TaylorMade balls cost about £4 each. Callaway, some of them cost about £4 each. So that's roughly what you're talking about. And then when people lose them into lakes, some golf courses go and collect them and then sell them in their pro shops for about £2 each for the best balls, £1 for other balls. But that's the sort of money you're talking about. AIG, that's an insurance. Oh, yeah, I was going to say they sponsored Man United, Manchester United. I might already have that ball then. But yep, good Man United. Next, I've had that logo myself, black with gold, like oranges on the tree. Marbella, Spain. Yeah, I'm roughly on schedule. Don't forget to bookmark my YouTube account so you can find me again. Bookmark me in your whichever browser you use the most. Most people use Google Chrome. Some people use Microsoft Edge, which I don't like. Some people use Firefox. Other than that, not a lot of people use anything else. Oh, that's interesting. That ball's in mint condition, but that's a PTS solar ball. Again, I presume this isn't like an early 2000s ball. So again, you're going to think, well, if that ball dates to 2000, why would it be in mint condition in the lake? Well, surely it can't have possibly been in the lake long. So maybe somebody had this saved in their house or in their garage in a packet, and then they decided to play it in 2023. That's my theory, because there's no way that ball's been in the lake for long at all. Next, Moat House, Cambridgeshire. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe I've recently heard that this has been taken over by the government to house asylum seekers, which is not a good thing. Nobody wants asylum seekers in their area. I'm sorry, but it has to be said. They are a lot of troublemakers. Mainstream media on the news don't want to cover it. They don't want to tell you the truth. If you go onto places like Twitter and see videos people have caught of what these people get up to at night, you'll be horrified. And that's why the mainstream media it doesn't fit their narrative. They don't want to say, I mean, they use the terminology illegal immigrants or migrants. They're not. They're slaves. They're allowed into this country to come and do jobs for crappy wages. It's a Ponzi scheme of just bringing more people to do the shit jobs rather than pay English people a decent wage. Bring in the slave labour, and let's call them immigrants, asylum seekers. And unfortunately, it's true to be said, especially recently in Ireland, in Dublin and stuff, some of them have gone on to rape people. Sometimes it's multiple men have raped people. It's just horrific, some of the stuff that's been happening. So, not nice at all. So that's down to the politicians allowing this to happen. We should kick them all out of the country. Anybody that comes to a country illegally should be kicked out, I think. I've got no problem with legal migration. If you come here and fill in all the forms and let people do background checks on you, check if you've got a criminal history, no problem with that. But you come here illegally, you should be sent back to where you came from. Right, that particular ball, 384 PTS 90, that ball